Good evening, guys. Welcome back. This is part 3 of my dream build, this great huge bottle jar. If you are new here, then hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. So yeah, if you're new here, again, go back and check out part 1. We did the substrate layers, we did the stones, which act as the water reservoir, and then we have the charcoal, well, mesh on top of the stones, then a layer of charcoal which adds as the nutrient layer, so when the water condensates on the jar on the sides, it'll then filter through the soil into the charcoal, through, and then again it'll just keep repeating. It's a never-ending cycle, and it will constantly feed and keep the soil nutrient rich. So yeah, part 1 we did the substrate layers, and then part 2 we did some of the planting, some of the landscaping, putting the stones, and then sort of had a bit of a play around about how I want it to look. So this one now, part 3, is where we're going to be doing more with the wood. So I have some different pieces here. I have drilled holes in them as well to create more of areas for the insects to hide when they're finally put in there. I have some little sticks, which you're going to see what I'm going to do with these in a little bit. I also have this really cute bug motel that my lovely partner has made for me, Sam. He's brilliant. He's also drilled some holes in. Some of the holes go all the way through, these ones on the end do, but these ones on the sides all go in different depths. Some will actually join on, some don't, so that'll be a kind of cool place for them to hide. So yeah, so let's begin. So obviously not everything's going to hopefully everything's going to go to plan, but not everything is obviously going to go to plan. But we're going to just like play around with things, and then obviously things might change, but up to now, hopefully, fingers crossed, everything's going to go to plan. So let's begin. So we're going to start with this because this is the centerpiece, this is the focal point, this is what I want to be the main honcho. So we're going to start with this, and then we're going to build around it. So in it goes. Oh god. There's the front of it again. There, so I'm going to try and stand it. Okay, so we need to dig a bit of an area here for it to kind of bed down in, which is fine because, you know, the soil will come in handy anyway. Okay, so build that back up now. Okay, and use your hands, use whatever you want. I've got some tools here, but at the minute I'm just kind of having a feel around. I want to bury it in, I want to make sure it's steady, although the sticks that I'm going to use to build around it are going to help with that anyway. And I also have, down here, I have some cool pieces of ivy, which I'm hopefully going to add, but we're going to see, we're going to play around with that as well. They're obviously not rooted, but I can add some more stuff as and when I want to anyway, so that's not going to be a problem. So yeah, up to now that's looking quite cool. Again, you know, I'm going to add to it as I go anyway, so it's not all going to be finished straight away. But yeah, so far so good. Okay, so that's the main thing. I don't know if you guys can see it very well there, but I will move, you know, as we go along I'll move the camera around. So next to it, I think on this side, we're gonna start with some of the thicker sticks for the base. This is what I'm thinking here now, if this is gonna work. Just bear with me on this one, I'll explain. So I watched this video a while back of a guy helping to create a habitat in his back garden, and he mentioned about putting sticks in such a pattern, so crisscross like this, and then basically once you've done that, putting some soil on the top of it and building like a mound, and then putting plants on top of that. So basically then what you're doing then is building an extra habitat for more insects and different places for them to, you know, kind of hang around. They can choose where they want to stay. Obviously for the more finer, trickier parts I can use my tweezers, but at the same time I don't want to, oh god, I don't know if that's going to stay, but we'll find out. I can always add more soil to that layer, which I have here, which I think I might do now actually, just to stop it kind of falling over. You know, things are going to change along the way, and that's okay. You know, it doesn't always have to be perfect all of the time. You know, you learn as with these things as you go, and it's not a done deal, it's not a sad science, it's just, oh, there's some roots in that one. It's just something, it's a hobby, you know, it's a bit of fun, it's something that I enjoy doing, you know, and now that I'm sharing it with you guys, hopefully you guys are enjoying doing it too. And it's like, okay, it is a bit of an odd hobby to have, but still, you know, everyone's got to have a hobby, and why not this one? Okay, I think that's a bit better now. I can add more plants to that, you know, it doesn't really matter about the stones. Things will change along the way. What I could have done actually is also remove some soil from the back here and help create a bit more of a flatter platform for this to sit on. That's better. That's much better now. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere now, guys. Okay. Much better. Much better. So right now I'm coming on my sticks now. I can actually break them up as I go as well, so I can maneuver them to suit whatever it is that I'm doing. You know, I might not even put the soil over that, I might just leave these as they are, but again, you know, plans can change as you go, and that's okay. You don't have to stick to a plot, you don't have to completely map it out and say, right, you know, I have to stick to this, this is what must happen. No, not at all. You can play around with your ideas, you can see something forming as you're doing it and realise, you know, that doesn't really suit me or what I want to achieve. So then change it. That's what I do all the time. I don't always stick to the same thing all the time. I'm always changing my mind. I'm never set, you know, this bottle has been sat on my kitchen floor for the last couple of weeks because I just didn't know. I didn't have a solid idea in my head of what I wanted it to look like. And even now as I'm doing it, it's all just popping up in my head. Okay, so I'm nearly done with this pile, and you'll see what I mean now when I do the soil. So I'm just dropping it on. It will compact and form itself over time. But yeah, I've accidentally taken out my plant. Oh, I haven't de-rooted it, it's okay, I can replant it, that's not a big deal. And again with this one will sort itself out as well, just give it a wriggle and the soil will come off. Don't want to bury it completely because I want the insects to be able to see that there's a way in. You know, I want to give them tunnel access as well. So don't bury it completely, obviously, just enough to allow them safe passage. They will find their own way in there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It just needs to, yeah, basically, and I'm going to put some moss. There are some other plants to add in as well, so I'm going to add some moss on top of this now as well, so that's okay. So I'll just add the moss on top of there. I mean, it'll sort itself out. It should anyway, hopefully. I mean, it has done in my other ecosystems here, so there's no reason why it shouldn't work this time. That looks really badass actually, guys. I mean, I will show you it properly in just a little bit. I'll give that a bit more of a shake there, I think. And then, okay, so now we're gonna use some of the other sticks to build around the bug hotel to help create more little nooks and crevices for them to hide in. I mean, I want this to be a bit of a badass structure, you know? I want the insects to have many places to hide. Oh, I've just broken it. I want the insects to have many places to hide. Again, if things break, it's not always a bad thing, because these insects like to have areas to dig around and eat and things, you know? Again, so this stick, hopefully, hallelujah, it does fit first time. I don't know, I had issues with the bug hotel to begin with. I had to cut it on the edges to make it fit. Well, that's cool. So as you can see, the drilled holes are in there now, so that'll add more of a sanctuary for things to hide in. So this badass tree branch now, I'm going to use some of these sticks off here, which is a shame, but I want them in here if they will go. Oh, broke a piece off there. And a piece there. So I'm just basically going to dig everything in here, so I'm going to make it fit. I'm going to make it as natural but as pretty, as if that makes sense, as possible. So if you guys can see, I'm just kind of stacking everything, but in a way that hopefully it will all stay and hold each other up. Again, I have plenty of other branches and sticks that I can use to add some more depth to this if I need to, or to add more structure if I need to. This is coming along very nicely. I'm going to move this one along so you can still see the writing in the motel. So again, guys, this is a very fiddly part of the job, but again, it's quite a satisfying part of the job, because you get to, this is the habitat basically, this is the bit that I love the most, because you're basically creating room for these little guys to live. And you know, it's hopefully going to be for a while, so you know, you want to get it right, but at the same time you want it to be natural, you want it to be a place that these things enjoy living. So you can use your knee to break some of these pieces as well, just be careful not to hurt yourself. So like that is a really cool piece now. So it is okay to, you know, it's quite cool to break things as well. How are we going to pop this in? I want this to be holding this piece up somehow. Okay, you can use, I'm using 2 hands now, guys. Oh no. Maybe if I turn this piece around. No, it's not going to fit like that. Or maybe if I just take that from the top completely. Sorry guys, I've gone quiet again. I'm just really trying to focus in on keeping this bug hotel in place right now. I don't want anything to, I don't want it to fall over, like when the bottle gets shaken a little bit. You know, I have a 2-year-old and I have a cat, and I guarantee if the cat sees things moving around too much, he's gonna try and jump on it. So we do want to kind of make sure things are semi-secure. So again, another structural piece. I'm hoping, again, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be semi-stable. Oh, I quite like that actually. Okay, I think that's it for the wood right now, guys. I don't want to overdo it either. I still need to put some more plants in and some leaf litter, which is what we're going to do now. We're going to do the plants first. Okay, so we're going to pop this little dude down right here in the log, I think. Let's see if we can get him in here. So I'm just going to pop my tweezers down there, and then I'm just going to gently place the roots as far down into the hole as possible, like such. Gently with my tweezers. These plants, these weeds, should I say, out my garden are quite robust. They seem to manage to find their way even when I ripped them out of their plant pot. So yeah, I'm not too worried about them not making it. I'm pretty convinced that these guys are going to be a-okay in this environment, but we'll soon see. I can always add more if things don't work out so well. I can always take things out. As you can see, I've taken out the aloe vera plant, guys. I really didn't like how it was looking in here. I knew that it was I said it was miniature, but it wasn't really. It was just the fact that I'd been growing it for a while and it hadn't really got any bigger, but I had a horrible feeling that it would just take up too much space in this ecosystem. I kind of want to put some moss on the top of the Burke Hotel, but I don't really want to either. I am, however, going to try and pop some more down the side of this area here. So I'm going to go over the top of that plant there, and I'm just going to go down here a little bit. I'm going to pop him back up here because I think I knocked him over. And then this last piece here now, I'm going to pop him in here over this guy. They hopefully will sort themselves out. Hopefully. Oh, I've knocked him over again. I don't think this stick is going to stay in here, guys. I think I'm going to have to rethink that piece, I think. Let's try this piece instead. That's a lot better. Yeah, that's a lot better. These pieces just won't stay standing upright. There we go. Okay, and then this guy's is just basically for a bit of floor coverage, and I'm just gonna try and weed out the roots here, which I think are there. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna plant this in the front here, I think. So I'm gonna dig a hole for them right there at the front, and I'm just gonna pop that in there. I'm just gonna drape it along this piece of wood here. Okay. Spread that out a little bit more, and then I'm just gonna pop the rest in right next to it. Yeah, those are the roots there, so I'm just gonna dig that bit out at the front there as well, and then this stuff is just gonna slide right into there like such. And this is about it, guys. That's all I want to do for now. I'm just going to give you guys a quick look here. Okay, and we're just going to take a look at what I've done. So as you can see, there's the bug motel. There's the landscape. The plants will obviously grow and they'll get much bigger and they'll fill all of this open space. And the next part will be part 4, and that will be in putting the critters in the bowl, and that's to come, so watch out for that. I'm going to collect them as soon as possible, and I might add a few more little stones here and there, but for the most part I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, like if you like the video. Thank you for watching.